Good morning, good evening, and welcome to this week's Fiverific Live Craft and Chat, where we craft and chat live. I know it's different. I had some problems this morning, like my camera moved, my microphone wouldn't set up, so everything's probably fine now that I've gone through and double checked everything, but you know, let me know if anything's off, if anything's out, all that kind of stuff. You guys know the drill. It is, I should let you know, it's a bit windy here today, and the bane of our existence, which is the back neighbour's ginormous tree, is actually banging on my patio roof. So I thought, oh, maybe we've left a shed door open or something, and I've gone out and had a look, and no, it was the tree, and I really can't do anything about that. Short of getting somebody out to cut all the branches back again. So that's fun. So today is the first Thursday of the month. If you are here in Australia, or let's narrow that down a little. If you're in Brisbane or local to Logan, we have an in-person meetup on the first and third Thursdays of the month at IKEA Logan in the food court, where we just sit and craft and chat and eat meatballs or whatever it is that you want to order yourself. So definitely think about coming along to that. It's a lot of fun. And just a nice way just to get out of the house, really, is what it is. And I have been thinking about when to run our next members only Discord chat. So I'm thinking next Saturday. So we'll have a look at that, but we'll and when I say Saturday, it's Friday for some of you, Saturday for me. So let me know if you can hear, if you can see in the chat. I can see that Bianca is here. Hello, Bianca. It's great to see you. Josephine is here, sitting here waiting for my phone to start ringing off. Look, it's always the way, isn't it? It's Thursday, 10 o'clock. The phone starts ringing because they're like, oh, no, we don't want to get you the second you walk in the door. Knitspin Girls Creation, so good to see you. Leanne's Craft Room, great to see you. Good morning, Chantelle, and all the early birds. Bianca is casting off her socks. Bianca, was it the same for you as it was for me? Both Bianca and I have made the same pair of socks, right? And we both adjusted our needle size because of the style of knitting that we do. I ended up having to, Kathy Breyer, it's great to see you. Thanks for jumping in, and thank you for telling me. I was beginning to wonder if I was screaming into the void and that something had gone awry. So thank you so much for letting me know. But I dropped down my needle size down to, the pattern calls for a 2.75. I dropped down to a 2.25. That's about normal for what I have to do to get gauge in knitting, because I'm a fairly loose knitter. Well, I tried knitting that pattern like 2 or 3 times at what I thought was the correct gauge. They were not comfortable. The heel just wouldn't work. So I was just like, I'm going to try one more time. I'm going to go up to the 275s, and if they end up just being ginormous bed socks, then that's what they're going to be. And they came out perfect. And I'm just like, wait, what now? Like, what? Like, every issue that I had went away just by going back to the 2.75 mils. It was just so dumb. It was so dumb. And I think the stitches are a little loose for socks. Or at least, maybe. I don't know. Socks are not something I usually make because I don't find the process enjoyable. Once I started again, so I started these again Monday of last week, and they were cast off by Sunday. So I ended up getting them finished. I'm going to grab them. I'm going to put the top-down camera. Now, I still have to block them, and I still have to weave in the ends, all right? So, all that sort of thing. Leanne says, nice colour T-shirt. Thank you. Thank you. I did pick up a couple of brighter shirts the other day, and because, it's starting to get cooler, I've got my long sleeves so I can, be warm. This is about all we need, mostly. In Brisbane for winter is a long sleeve T-shirt. Bianca said it's the same. I usually go down a size or 2, but this time, no. Yeah, it was insane. Hey, Samantha, it's good to see you in the chat. Alrighty, let us jump to have a look at these ginormous socks. Oh, hello, keyboard. These are my knee-high socks. I'm about a size 7 to 8. Where's a ruler? Or a tape measure in my underarm. Alrighty, so, I mean, that's 12 inches. And then, just shy of 24 inches, 23 and a half inches long, not stretched out. So, yeah, 24 and a half inches long. And obviously, like, you know, I've got to make a bit of extra room because these are knee high. They go just about all the way up to my knee. They probably missed by a little bit. I probably could have done just maybe a half inch more in the ribbing. And I'm still deciding if I'm going to go back and just undo I'm not going to. I keep saying I might, but I won't. What I'll do is I'll probably just fold down the cuff a little when I'm wearing them because they're at that point where they just don't quite sit over the back, you know, at the top of the back of my leg. Anyway, they're very comfortable. They're ridiculously comfortable. I do have the link for the pattern that I used in the description below. Do the 2.75 mil needles. don't, you know, adjust for yourself, which is like the number one thing I always tell people to do. But I did knee high, full knee high in, now, you know, keep in mind I am a short person, but full knee high in under a week, which just shocked me. It shocked me so much. I have not finished the mosaic blanket. It is over in the naughty corner just for a little bit. Because I got so sick for sort of like the first 3 months of the year, I got so behind in so many other projects that I just need to knock over a few of those and then I'll go back to the mosaic. I'm thinking probably next week or the week after we'll start that back up again. It's nearly done. It's really nearly done. So, you know, it's a really good length. And the person who's going to receive it is actually happy with the length of it now. I want to make it a little longer. So that's what I'm going to do. Basically because I just have an absolute ton of the yarn. And I don't know what else I'll use it for, at least. And there's not enough for another blanket. Like that's, you know, that medium amount of time where you're like, oh, not time, of yarn, where you're like, I could just do the blanket a little bit more and that will use up the leftover. Or I could just stash this yarn for another project, which you never use it. So that's where these socks, now, so basically I finished in the month of April, because we are in Australia, we're in May now. It's May the 2nd here. And I finished the socks and I finished my shirt and I finished Abby's birthday blanket. So I finished 3 major projects last month. So while I still have too many projects for my brain, there is one project that I need to get done for a deadline. So I started that. I'm assuming you want to see it, right? Like, you want to see it, don't you? Kathy says, I was watching last week's live and the sentence is not completed. Bianca says, I didn't end up doing the knee-high sock pattern though. I gave up after 3 times. It didn't work. I ended up following the fish lips. Oh, okay. So you didn't do all the other stuff. Okay. I did the exact pattern and got it done. All right. So what I'm doing now is, oh, it wouldn't let you finish. Huh. That's bizarre. I don't know why it wouldn't let you finish. You could probably put it in the second half of a sentence. But so what I'm working on now is are these cable crush joggers. So they're basically like knitted tracky dacks. And I've already done, this is the waistband and it's got a little tie, which I did on my lucette. And they recommend that you do the tie straight away. And yeah, it was it's going through that way, and I love that they like the pattern actually does like this whole short row area around your butt to give you more room in your butt. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, actually someone who considers the fact that we may not all have little flat butts. My dog's losing his mind. I'm just gonna like, I'm sorry. I actually think I heard the postman's bike go past, so he's not going to bark for too long. Oh, I was about a third done. Congrats on the almost finish. That's right. It is an almost finish, isn't it? I've still got to block it, and I've still got to weave in these last ends. So, and you're right. It's an almost finished, isn't it? So that means I've actually almost finished the shirt because it's not blocked yet either. All the ends are woven in, but it's not blocked. And I almost finished the socks, but I did finish Abby's blanket. It was all done and dusted because I gifted it to her, so I made sure it was all done. But you're right, it's an almost finish. Good morning, Vanfear. I'm lurking today, waiting on a delivery for Artzog's upcoming birthday and resuming work on my queen size toile. Awesome. That is awesome. No, Samantha, it's not handy. I'm not going to go and grab it. It's not handy. Let me look. Cable Crush link. Thank you so much, Leanne, for popping in all of the links today. I really appreciate that. So, I mean, I got this. I was going to crochet on my blanket, but I mean, these are here, right? So I could just knit a row, couldn't I? I could just knit a row. So I started these Monday. It's Thursday today. They do have a fold over band, which is the first time I've done one of those. Not on a knitting machine. I can tell you it's so much easier on a knitting machine. So yeah, mind you, on a knitting machine, I never did it in the round, did I? I always did it on flat. But anyway, so yeah. So let me know what you're working on while we're sitting here chatting. And I mean, I'm going to work on this for just a little bit, but I am planning on bringing out the sun gold blanket and keep crocheting on that. I was having a little, because I was grabbing links to put in the description. I was having a look on, I was having a look on my Ravelry, and I'm like, okay, there's still a couple of projects there I want to knock over because I don't like having that many projects on the go. And there's a lot of really big projects. So I was looking at my Ravelry, and I think out of it's 8 projects that I've currently got on the go, 6 of them are blankets. So I'm just like, oh, I just really need to knock over 1 or 2 more to sort of, you know, calm back the stress of everything's too much. So one of them, the fusion blanket, which I quite often forget to add into my tally of blankets that I'm working on. It's all just needs to be joined. All the squares just need to be joined together and the ends sewn in. I mean, there's a lot of ends to sew in, like, let's be honest here. So yeah, there's a lot of ends to sew in, but all the individual squares, I've already blocked them. So I won't re-block that once it's done. What weight is your yarn? This particular yarn, it's the Sierra from Peyton's. I think it's technically classed as a DK, but I think it's a bit more of a chunky, I'll be honest. Let me just have a look. They're 150-gram balls. I'm just grabbing some information on the Sierra. So it's technically classed as a DK, 375 meters for 150-gram balls, or 5.29 ounces. That to me feels a little closer to worsted than DK. And it's an 80-20 acrylic wool blend. So yeah, I'm very much enjoying it. So, and it has a lot of great colors. I've actually got 3 different colors in this yarn and went with this one. This is the Sage brush, but there's a lot of colors. So, but I'm really enjoying it. But yeah, I think we have worked out that it's just pretty close to the recommended yarn. Let me just see, Cable Crush. So it was pretty similar. I'm just opening up the Woolies. So they had 180 meters per 85 grams or 3 ounces. So yeah, I think it must be pretty similar because there's a few of us doing these pants and they're working. So, um, you know, we'll see. We'll see. Let's see here. I never block. Knitspin Girl says I never block socks. My sock blockers are for photographic purposes only, except for one pair that's starting to felt. I block those a bit bigger so I can keep wearing them. That's a great idea. Look, what I'll probably do is I'll actually just give these a wash, like these socks here. I'll give them a wash, because they're not going to fit on any of my sock blockers. Truth be told, they really just aren't. So, I'll just have to, give them a wash and lay them flat and hope that I don't felt them. I mean, my sock blockers could fit in and I suppose block the actual foot and then, maybe a bit of the ankle, but that's about it. Where? Oh, they're right here. There they are. I have a sock blocker. Let us see if they fit in there. This is the medium size, is it? It's the small to medium women's blocker from Lumographica. Let me just drop this comment down. Have I comment? Yeah, it's the Lumographica sock blocker. So it's just a I don't know, I'd say a 3mm acrylic. Let's look. Yes, it's a 3mm acrylic. So it's still a bit bendy, and I love how they did the cutouts here, so a little bit of air goes through as well. All right, let's see. Let's see. Dun, 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 dun. Get in there, evil sock. Okay, you're not an evil sock, all right? Not yet, anyway. Where is that? It is. All right. So, there we go. So, there's hard plastic. Hang on, I just gotta get this sock right. All right. The hard plastic goes to about there. And that's where the hooky bit is. So the actual hard width starts to go in there. So it goes to about there. So, I mean, it could block out the foot a bit, I suppose. But it's not going to do much for the leg. Oh, dear. But yeah. Oh, that could have been very bad. The one container that I don't have a lid on, I whack it with my fingers. But the socks, whether they're blocked or not, absolutely need a wash and absolutely need the ends woven in. So they're still technically not finished because we have a rule here. One rule. We actually have a pile of rules, but the rule here is unless it's the ends woven in and it's washed and ready to wear, it is not finished. Let's have a look here. Oh, Josephine says, I too have started the Cable Crush joggers. I was going to use Sagebrush, but I don't want to be twins with you. Oh, right, why not? Come on. I chose the Sagebrush because we talked about it and we were going to be twins. I could have made mine with the purple. Look. Watch out, Lulu. Watch out, big boy. I could have made mine dark and moody and made them with the purple, but no, we were going to be twins. Sad now. Jeez. Kathy Bryer's currently working on 2 blankets, one half done, the other about a quarter done. Awesome. That's awesome. Because you normally have a blanket upstairs and a blanket downstairs, don't you? Let's have a look here. I'm having trouble with the head of my emotional support chicken. The crochet version has a few issues in the pattern writing, a few issues in the writing explanation. Yeah, I think if I was going to do an emotional support chicken, I'd be doing the knitted one, I'll be honest. Let's have a look here. Spring the Fiber Enthusiast, good evening from West Virginia. Hello, how are you? Thank you for joining us. Sal is here. Good morning, Sally. I'm here, but I'm trying to log onto the computer. Oh, I get that. There are days and there are days, right? Absolutely. Let's push this monitor over a little. little bit closer. Chantelle says, my sock blockers are for photos only. I've never blocked my socks. They're quite roomy because they are for my dad who gets swollen feet and generally 100% alpacas. Well, the alpaca would stretch out nicely too, wouldn't it? And be nice and soft on sore feet. Perfect timing. Leanne, have an awesome, awesome day. Thanks for jumping in while you could. I appreciate that. Oh, no. I see. I already knew to put the sarcastic tone on it. I already knew. Oh, no. That purple yarn is hideous. You should send it to me to dispose of it for you. Oh, my gosh. That's so funny. That's so funny. No. I'll just find another project for it that, you know, and who knows, I may still make joggers out of it if I like having knitted trackies. I've never had knitted trackies before. Who here has knitted themselves pants before? Out of all of the things I've created over the years and years and years of my fiber journeys, I have never made myself pants. I've made skirts for my daughter. I've made jumpers for other people. I've made a jumper for myself. I've made tops, like cover tops in crochet, a myriad of blankets, hats, cowls, lace shawls, beaded lace shawls, but I don't think I've ever made pants for myself in either knit or crochet. Now, I've sewn pants for myself, like just shorts for dagging around the house, but I've never knitted or crocheted pants. It's an interesting sort of project, and I'm just like, okay, so the reality is I'm probably going to be able to wear these once or twice before I destroy them, because, you know, I destroy jeans with the chunky girl legs, jean destroyers, right? Good chance I'm going to destroy these pants fairly quickly. And so I'm like, am I really going to put that much effort into a project that may get one or two wears before it's literally dead? And then I thought, how many things, like handmade shawls and cowls and hats and things, have I made that I've actually never worn because it's Queensland and it's hot here? So getting one wear out of them is probably better. I don't know. I don't know why I'm doing this. Peer pressure. Peer pressure is why I'm doing this. It's Kelly's fault. I don't know who first suggested it. We have our Fibrific retreat happening in August, and somewhere along the lines, I can't remember exactly who suggested it, but it was suggested that we all make a pair of these pants to wear at the retreat. And I don't know why I agreed. I don't know why I agreed, but I agreed to it. So I suppose I should, do it. Oh dear. Bianca has made a pair of shorts once. They were horrid, so she unraveled them. That is awesome. Weren't you going to crochet knit pants for your retreat? Yeah, and that's why these pants have come about, is because of the retreat. But I still feel like it was peer pressure that's made me actually do it. Because, yeah. So it's your fault, Sally. I'm blaming you. I think Kelly brought it up and I showed her the pattern. Well, good job. Good job on that. I mean, one thing I'll say for this pattern, it's super clear so far. It's really size inclusive. I am not the largest size, which really surprised me. Now, in saying that, my measurements aren't the largest size. Who knows what I'm going to end up with, right? Excuse me, sorry. So, it's just, and you know what, Sally, this is the thing. You start this trouble and you're not going to make it to retreat this year. You start the biffo of the knitted pants And you're like, and then I will leave it to you. Bye-bye. I'm not coming. So, we're going to have to send you photos of all of us being tortured in our knitted pants. And the look on Leonie's face. Leonie runs the retreat venue. You know the look she's going to have when we all turn up one morning in our knitted pants for breakfast. And she's just going to just be shaking her head like, what on earth? And we'll be like, hey, Leonie, can you take a photo of us all in our knitted pants? And she'll just be like, no. So it's like, I absolutely love photos. That's awesome. Holly, it's so good to see you. Thanks for jumping in. But yeah, it's going to be one of those fun ones. Now, I was sort of like organizing all the craft for today's live chat, and I've pulled out the sun gold. It's just here off to the side. It's just over here. And Macy just, she ate through my yarn again. So I've had to do a join in the middle of a row of color. And I'm really like, to say I just got grumpy. I got grumpy at the cat, who I normally don't get grumpy at. I normally like give her a pass on pretty much everything. But I'm like, dude, I have to join in the middle of a row now, and I already have to join at the sides for every color change. Like, I don't want extra joins. Oh, it's so annoying. John O'Brien has made it. It's May, the lusty month of May. I don't know what that's a reference from. I'm assuming that's a reference from something. John's pretty good with the old references. Chintamani wants to see photos. Holly wants to see photos. I don't know. Should we do a what happens at retreat stays at retreat kind of thing? Or could we share that photo? We'll have to wait and see. So far, the only person who has completed pants is Kelly. So far it's a photo of Kelly, and she's not in the chat today because she's got a work commitment. But I know that both Josephine and myself are making pants. So we've got those. And then I know some people have made, Bianca has made a skirt using the Sierra yarn. So she's probably going to try and pass that off as her project. Just saying. It's from Camelot. Okay. There you go. If you're worried about wrecking the long pants, she has a shorts version. Look, I like the idea, but it's going to be a tad cold. And I reckon what'll happen, like the spot that I ruin pants in, I'll be able to unravel up to, a really good amount of yarn. So I'll actually be able to reclaim a lot of it back. And, so that's not too bad, I suppose. But yeah, the actual knitting of the pants, I had to get started now in May because they need to be done by mid-August, and I'm going to get sidetracked. I'm going to be like, oh my God, this stockinette is just destroying my brain. So I need to work on something else, and then I'll put them down and I'll forget about them for who knows how long. I mean, I could end up wearing shorts anyway, because, it's one of those things. It's one of those things. I just had a notification pop up on my phone, and someone who I follow on Twitter was just like, oh, we just had this great YouTube event in Seattle. Let us know anywhere else that you'd like us to run this event. And I'm like, I don't know, Brisbane, Australia, actually anywhere Eastern Seaboard Australia, and I'd probably go because we get 0 events here. And the organizer was like, hey, YouTube, let's make something happen down under. And I was just like, what? So I'm like, yeah, YouTube, yeah, make something happen in Australia. Like one thing. We had VidCon happen for 3 years, and then COVID hit and it never came back. And I don't think they're planning on bringing it back. So that was disappointing. I loved VidCon in Australia. But yeah, I don't think there's no, the reality is there's probably not much chance of me leaving the country anytime soon. So I would like for some things to come here. And you know what? If I have to travel to a different state to attend something, I'll do that. I'm gonna share a pet peeve with you all because you're my friends and I share pet peeves in here all the time. I get the absolute irrits when there's an event that is an amazing event, right? And somebody is like, oh my God, that's a 5-hour drive away. If you give me free tickets, that'll make it worthwhile. Whereas I'm sitting here trying to work out how to get the $4,500 for the airfare, let alone the tickets and accommodation and all the rest of it. And you're just like, really? You live driving distance away and you're complaining about it? Like 5-hour drive. I'd be in the car, man. I'd be booking a hotel. I would have already bought the tickets. I would have worked out that it was 5 hours away and clicked book. I would have worked out that it was in my country, but it was going to be like a little, interstate flight hop, even a 5-hour flight, I'd still go. And you're just like, oh my gosh, really? Really? And you're just like, oh, okay. I don't know their situation. I don't. But I find them frustrating. I thought I'd share that. I can't really share it anywhere else because I sound really selfish. So, yeah. Leanne is also in Australia. She's local. She comes along to our meetups. She's gone now. She had an appointment. Bob Curran is here. Great to see you. Yeah, those people are annoying. I agree. I agree with you. I know you're agreeing with me, but I agree with you agreeing with me. Absolutely. Yeah, especially when it's an event that you really want to go to, but you can't. Absolutely. I've been trying to get to a particular event now for a couple of years, and I just haven't been able to make it happen. And then, then there's like a fan conference that I really wanted to go to, and I couldn't make that happen. I'm just like, oh, gosh, just so frustrating. One of the guys from Tears from Fears is a customer of mine at work, and they were just on a tour for 2 years, and they played in Boston, an hour away. But Boston is such a hassle, I didn't go to the show. Oh, really? But are you like complaining that they didn't come to your town? Like you're like, oh my God, Tears for Fears did not come to this town that's 1 hour outside of Boston, but they went to Boston. Because like I see that happen in some other groups as well. Like, oh, such and such an event runs all over the world and all over the country, except it was in the state next to mine, not my actual state. And you're like, sorry, wait, what? You didn't go because you had to travel, but you expect them to travel everywhere? Anyway, it's just a thing. I'm just like, ugh. But yeah, are you complaining that they didn't come to your state? Because like, I get it if you decide you don't want to go or you don't want to deal with that. I totally get that. But are you then jumping online having a big old whinge like, if they had have given me free tickets, then I'd go because I have to deal with Boston. Mind you, I really don't like the city and I would go to the city. Like I would probably even catch a train, which is a really big thing for me. I may not catch the train. I might drive and pay ridiculous parking, but I would work out how to do it because I'm just like, oh my gosh. No, Boston or Providence are two big cities, both about 40 miles away, but traffic and parking. Oh, I get it. It's sort of like the difference between Gold Coast and Brisbane. I think they're a little further than 40 miles apart, but not by much. But yeah, parking and driving. The driving part's not so bad. The traffic part's not so terrible, but the parking costs. Brisbane City is ridiculous for their parking costs. I'm just going to just say this. If you try to park in the city for more than like at all through working hours, good luck getting any change out of $50, honestly. Like, good luck. And if you need to park all day and you don't manage to make an early bird park and, you just park in one of the spaces and just clock in and clock out. Good luck getting any change out of $100. So, you know, it's just ridiculous. But then you go in after 5 o'clock and it's $10 for the rest of the night. Like, you can go and have dinner at the restaurant. You can do anything you want after 5 and it's $10. So, yeah. Are you working on your mosaic blanket? That's awesome, Samantha. Be careful on trains, buses. Mum travelled a whole day on trains and buses the other month and now has glandular fever. Yeah, it's there's so much stuff. And I really think our immune system's got a little bit hit when we were all like being super cautious and masking. I actually don't have an issue with masking. I wouldn't worry. Like, if we were told, not only are you not allowed to eat or drink on buses and trains, at least in Queensland, you're not allowed to eat or drink on buses and trains, but you need to wear a mask while you're on board, I'd be like, cool, okay, it's an enclosed air-conditioned space with people sitting basically on top of you. I would like to say yes, please, for a mask. What time is it here? It's about 10:30 in the morning on Thursday. And you can Google Brisbane time and you can see what time it is for me anytime, because I am Brisbane time. Not just me. There's a few other people who also have Brisbane time, but that's what we are. So, yeah. I'm seriously considering grabbing a longer cable. I was just like, when I was first casting on, I was just like, oh, do I want this longer cable? Do I want this shorter cable? I think I want the shorter one. But I'm beginning to regret my decision. I think for when I did the waistband, the longer cable was fine. And then after that, I was just like, okay, this is just that little bit too much. Kathy has Brisbane time on her Apple Watch. Go, Kathy. I've got like a couple of clocks. Let me look at what clock times I've got on mine. I've got Sydney, Chiang Mai, LA, and Montreal. They're my big ones that I keep an eye on. And I know, like, right now Sydney's at the same time as me because they've turned off their dumb daylight savings. But they don't always, and so that's why I put Sydney on my list as well, which I know is odd, but you know, that's what I do. Yeah. So, all right. So let me just think. It looks like only Bianca has made pants before. Let me know if you have made yourself pants before in either knit or crochet. I'm not worried about which particular. I just mean with yarn. I remember when I went to do my Teach the Teacher accreditation course for Crochet Guild of America, there was a guy who turned up and he would wear knitted suits every day. And then in the afternoon when he went for when he was like lounging by the pool, he was in knitted sort of like shorts. And I'm just like, holy dooly, like that takes some serious dedication right there. I didn't have that kind of dedication back then. I don't know if I have that kind of dedication now. So yeah, Knitspin Girl says, I haven't made pants, but I have knitted a skirt once. Yeah, I used to make Abby some skirts. I used to sew her little A-line dresses in really cute little cotton fabrics, and then I used to machine knit A-line skirts for her, and then using what do you call that? It was like a little tiny mini knitting machine that just made I-cord. It was a 4-stitch I-cord, and make little flowers and little things, like little cute decorative things out of I-cord, and then sew that onto the actual skirts. So we've probably still got some of them. But yeah, so she used to wear the skirts with like little leggings underneath them or tights underneath them, because she would get cold, but she would not want to just wear like, you know, trackies all the time. Abby lived in trackies as a toddler. This was when she was much younger, when I could actually put her in clothes that I wanted to put her in. You're thinking about making some granny square pants. I've never made a granny square garment off the top of my head, but I spotted a sweater that I just loved the look of. The shape of it was just so cool that I'm considering adding it to my queue. I haven't added it yet. I'm still considering whether or not I'd add it to the queue. But I think it could look really cute. Like with just like jeans or trousers or something as well. So yeah. Oh yeah, and the confidence he had to wear it. Oh, absolutely. Oh my gosh. Yes. He did. He exuded the confidence in what he was wearing. Mm. So John, would you be making your granny square pants out of something soft enough that it's not going to bother the skin on your legs, or would you need to wear something underneath them? Actually, the granny squares, you probably want to wear something underneath them. Excuse me, which is probably why I lean more towards granny square tops and stuff, because it's normally a layer under. Gotta bring it around like that. All right. How's everyone going? What are you working on? Let me know in the chat. I did post a link over in the Fibrific Fun Zone on the Facebook group. So if you wanted to post photos of what you're working on over there, that would be super cool. Then I can go back after the stream's over and go and have a quick look. Yeah, you'd need to find something soft. Absolutely. Bianca's sewing in her ends. Sewing in the ends. Yeah, I know your answer, Sally. You're polishing off a mocha right now and moderating the chat. So you're not working on a project. Did I guess right? Did I guess right? Where's the end? I'm going to knit to the end of the row and then I will change over to the sun gold blanket so I can give my fingers a little break from knitting. John's working on his, oh, you guessed this right. Awesome. Working on my corner to corner join as you go. Oh, I brought mine in so we could have a look. After this, I'll pull it up. I'm making mine in three colors, I think. But yeah, I thought, I haven't worked on it in a while, but I thought I'd make sure it was handy so I could bring it onto the table. But it has no future home. There's no time restraint on it. So it gets backburned all of the time. That and my knitted prison blanket. Like that thing got backburned like so fast. But I think I'm more confident at picking up stitches and stuff now. Funnily enough, knitting some garments has helped with my confidence on that. So it might actually speed things along with that blanket too, because it's so squishy, and we're coming up to winter here. We're starting to get a few cooler mornings and cooler overnights. The days are still pretty warm, but the mornings and the overnights, the temperatures are really dropping. So, you're sitting and watching TV at night and you're sort of like by about, 8:30 or movie o'clock time. Oh, wait a second. What's Bob saying? Have you tried traveling loop with your project? Then you won't have to keep shuffling your stitches. I don't know what that is. Because, I have too much. I thought the traveling loop was if you had more cable than stitches, so you could travel that bit around. Maybe I would love to know more about it. I really would. If you can, I don't know what that is. If you can send me a link or something like that in the fun zone, so that I can see what it is. I don't know what it is, but I would be very interested to know about it for sure. I was just going to go into larger needles just so that I could shuffle the stitches around less, because when they're not so, compact, like squashed together, they move naturally by themselves better, which is why, it's better to have the bigger cables. But I'm not sure what you're talking about, but I definitely would be interested. Anything that'll make this faster and easier. It's actually the pulling and the moving that makes my hands tired. It's not the actual knitting of the stitches. So definitely curious. My last C2C was commandeered by a woman I was dating. This one is much larger and has no destination. So like it's just gone now. So yeah, this one's for you. If it no destination means that maybe you get to keep it. I'm thinking I want to keep this one, but then I'm like, will I use it? Because I really do like my Marvel Polar fleece on the couch. Everyone else has got handmade blankets now, and I'm still using my Marvel Polar fleece, which I just love. I pulled it out of the cupboard this morning, and I'm like, give that, like it's just been, it got washed and put away at the end of winter last year, or the end of, when spring got too warm for it. And now I'm like, just pulled it out this morning, ready to start using it. I'm like, ha ha ha, it is time for the Marvel blanket. So, yes. All right, we are nearly at the end of the row. So, I mean, I know I'm like, you like looking at all these stitch markers and you're like, oh my gosh, but I use a different stitch marker to show my end of row or end of round, just so that it's easier to differentiate between. So these are just my counting markers, just so I make sure I've, when you've got to count stitches, I've already got an idea of where I think each 50 is. Off the top of my head, I think I lost one. Yeah, I lost the one on this side. It fell off while I was on the couch, so I'd have to recount that one. But yeah, but my end of round is a proper little. It's a faux blinglet. It's like I made some ginormous stitch markers that fit my 6mm needles. So when I was making the ranunculus, I did not glue them. All right, and I just knit an extra stitch so my stitch marker stays. But yeah, so that's the back that that's the front. What am I saying? The back. So that's the front so far with its little tie. I think this will stretch out more, so the tie won't have as long a tail. But yeah, so that's that there. I think it's looking good. I love the colors. I love how this yarn feels, honestly. A word is upsetting Chintelle. It keeps changing the default language, so all my text shortcuts disappear on me. So annoying. I have to change it back 5 lots of zeros times a day. Yeah. Sorry about that. It's frustrating for sure. Yes. I can see how frustrating it would be. Oh, before I start this, actually, before I get hooked into that, I'm like, what is the condition inside this bag? I have no idea. So it's one of my old school fibrific bags from Redbubble. If you want your own, you can order them. Links in the description. This is my join as you go. It's still got a long way to go. Wow, that's really color saturated. Let me just see if I can just temporarily drop that saturation down just so we can there we go. The brightness too. There we go. All right. So the blue is really dark. This is Bendigo cotton, 8 ply. And this, I'm just double checking if this is the front or the back. That's the front. Okay. So yeah. But it's so soft, honestly. It's just so lovely. Can you guys, the blue just is playing up, isn't it? Let me just see if I'll bring that brightness back up. I'll just do it like that, just temporarily. The white is the problem. The white is the problem. Let me just fix, no, it's not letting me have it. Yeah, I can't really do anything about it. But yeah, this is just a really nice red, royal blue, and an Arctic white from Bendigo Woolen Mills. Knitting it fairly tightly. Each square is about, I think, 12 centimeters. So just short of 5-inch squares. come back here, ruler. All right. Each square is, yeah, just shy of 5 inches square. So they're 12 centimeter squares. Yeah, the white's totally blown out. Yeah, what I'll do is I'll grab a photo of it and I'll share it in the fun zone. But there's also photos of it on my Ravelry queue. So that totally, yeah, I don't know what the white is. So actually, what if I just did that? No, didn't fix it at all. Did nothing, as a matter of fact. But yeah, I'll drop those photos into the fun zone afterwards. But yeah, it's a nice royal blue. It's a really beautiful red, and a creamy white. It's really hard to see. That white's just blowing everything out, isn't it? Let me just. No, I can't. I can't get it to go nicely. It's just being naughty. It's just being really naughty. That red is about right now. It's a really good bright red. The blue is probably still a little on the dark side. But yeah, so these are lots of small squares and it's join as you go, corner to corner. So basically here I would be grabbing the white, start it here and corner to corner joining onto both sides as you go. And then, you know, across to there. And then here I would join on the blue because it's the stripes are just, you know, red, white, red, blue, blue and white kind of thing. So, and just, I worked out how much yarn I had. I should be able to make 8 of these strips wide. And I've got 4.5 at the moment. Well, 3.5. That's the 4th row there. So yeah, it's coming along. It's just has no priority. Oh, that's the back side. You can see like where all the teeth bite in a bit more there, all the ends to weave in. I wove in some ends over here. Look, there's no ends because I didn't want to be that person to leave myself 11 billion ends. All right, let's put that one away. Hold you up later. Squish over there. So Louis, when I first started the stream, was sitting on this mat at the door, just looking like a dejected dog, right? Just looking so dejected, it wasn't funny. And I've just spotted he's now asleep in his little bed. He's all snooze-loozling. Alrighty. Do I need to fix anything? Color-wise, saturation needs to bump up just a dash. There we go. Okay. Comments. It's looking good. Love it. John's squares are about 5.5 inches or 14 centimeters. Okay, so they're a little bit bigger, and that's just small squares. Are you doing all the one size square, or are you doing different size squares? How many clusters per side? 10. I've got 10 clusters per side. Oh, you were trying to count, but I kept moving it. Yeah, sorry, 10 clusters per side. Okay, so it's a bit dusty, and I haven't had my anti-inflammatories and my antihistamines this morning, and I'm allergic to dust. So that was dumb. I didn't realize it would be dusty. It's just been in this little bag. Like, it's not been that long since I've worked on it. Anyway, it has set me off a little bit. So bear with me while I try and recover. Because I'm allergic to dust. Like, let's add that to our long collection of dumb things to be allergic to. Okay, so you're using a bulky yarn. Yeah, I'm using Bendigo 8 ply, which in real world is more like a a light, no, like a heavy sock weight. Like they're like, oh no, it's totally an 8-ply. It is not an 8-ply. It's a 5-ply. I'm just trying to think of what a 5-ply equivalent is in US sizings. So 4-ply is like sock weight. So this is slightly thicker than sock weight. Oh, I've missed one there. I'm just going to jimmy it. I'm jimmying it. I'm not going back. I'm not going to fix it. I just jimmy it into the space. No one will know. Sport weight, you think? You think sport weight? But yeah, Bendigo cotton is on the fine side for its weight listings. So I can't remember what hook size I'm using. I've got my project right here. Hang on a second. I think I'm using like a 3mm hook or a 3.5mm hook. It is in the it is there. 3.5mm hook I'm using. And I've got all my notes are in there. So that's cool to know that if I need to, I can go back and look there. I try to do that. I don't always do that. I try to do that with my projects, make sure that everything's in there that I need. Oh, I'm not going to work on it today. I haven't worked on it for a little bit, and I know that I'm doing it slightly different so that like how I insert the hook is so that all of the legs are on the back side, or at least the majority of the legs are on the back side, so that I don't have to see the little spikes in the front. And it's been a little bit since I've worked on it, and it's like bottom priority. That and the prism blanket are bottom priority projects. So I want to try and get this guy done because his project bags are big because of the sheer numbers of balls, right? Like there's 15 balls of 100 grams of yarn required for this blanket. And I'm just like, I just would like to knock it over. And then we've got another blanket for the couch. Although my dad was eyeing this one off. I didn't think it would be his colours. Oh no, he was eyeing off the zigzag granny's blanket with the black stripes and the rainbow stripes. He was eyeing that one off. So I should probably get that finished and post it up to him before it starts getting too cold where he is. But yeah, I want to get this one done because of the sheer amount of yarn that it needs to eat. The other one is all scraps, so I'll have to just keep going with that one. My mum wants the mosaic, so I need to get that one done because it'll be getting cold where she is. She's a bit further south than me. But yeah, lots of blankets getting ready to be shipped out. No, not this project. This project's not dusty. No, it was the corner to corner that was dusty. Corner to corner even made it to a couple of caffeinated crafters when it was still a bit of a baby in the project bag. It's a bit long now to be dragging around, a bit heavy. I'll probably take my pants out tonight for caffeinated crafters because they'll need a project bag. Actually, do you know what? Like, I've got a project, right? Let me know in the chat. Have you ever just finished off a project just because it was going to be the fastest one to finish off and be like, tick, done? Even though it's got its own set of issues, its own problems, its own, stuff. But it was just like, I can get this one totally done and get it out of the queue and not think about it anymore. Because my bunny mink cowl is that project. It needs maybe 5 or 6 more rows on it and it's done. Cast off. Thank you, linesman. Thank you, ball boys. All done. But I just keep putting it aside for something else. Joined late. Hey, Sue Ellen, it's great to see you. Love this pattern. Is there a link? Let me there should be. I'm just double checking. If you go to my projects page, I'm just opening Sun Gold pattern, copy URL. There we go, into the chat. All right, that's just a straight pattern library version, and I'm using one of her kits. So I was able to get the Yarnsmiths kit, which I'm not the biggest fan of the Stylecraft Special DK. I know a lot of people love it, and I'm not going to yuck your yum. It's not my thing. So I definitely wanted to try their alternative yarn, which is this Yarnsmith yarn from Wool Warehouse. What have I done here? I'm pulling it the wrong way. There we go. And I actually like it. I prefer it over the Special DK personally. It's just that little bit softer. Um, I don't know how it wears. This is my first project with it, so I've never put it in a washing machine. I don't know if it's gonna collapsify. I have no idea. I'm really hoping it is just fine. I can't imagine it wouldn't be, but we'll wait and see. Sometimes we don't know these things till we give them a wash. What? I only have one project on the needles at the moment. I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know what's wrong with you either. You need to remedy that. Weirdo. One project. Pfft. Are you even a crafter if you've only got one project on the go? Like, seriously, do you call, like, that's just terrible. Like, I know you can only knit one project at any 1 minute, but you need to have like 5 projects glaring at you that they're not getting knitting time. That's, I don't even know what to say. I just don't know what to say. I'm shocked, Samantha. I'm just shocked. In the chat, let us know how many projects you've got that your current whips. I have officially 8. This is unofficially. I don't even know. Officially, according to my Ravelry queue, which is my official account of my projects. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 9. Sorry, I told a lie. Again, I forgot the high tea fusion quilt. But there are 9 projects. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the 9 are 6 of the 9. Let me count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of the 9 are blankets. And then I have my Pearl Soho ankle socks and my pants and my cowl. John says 3 and 1 that needs frogging. Holly says 3 socks and 2 blankets, she thinks. I know, we need to send like an intervention out to Knit Spin Girls. Sorry, I don't mean to shame anybody. You could be like, you're like doing what actually we all would like to do, which is just focus on one project at a time and not have any project guilt. And then here I am just being like a total cow. So I'm really sorry about being a total cow. It's hard because I'm like a total cow all the time. And then I forget that this is the live stream and it's not my family. Kathy's got 2 blankets on the go. Natalie Powers so far winning. Winning? Are we calling it winning? Yes, she's winning. She has 15 projects, 5 are blankets and some are baby blankets. Oh my gosh. Kathy's got her 2 blankets. Holly's just signed up for a new class for knitting for a top. That is awesome. Molly Finney has got 4 projects, 3 jumpers and a shawl. That is awesome. Is the shawl your travel project, Molly, or is one of the jumpers your travel project? I did have the bunny mink cowl as my travel project till I realized how much mink I was wearing after I worked on it for a bit. So it is a home project. It needs a good old wash and bath to try and settle down some of the fibers that were just escaping constantly. So we'll see how that goes. Chantelle has about 5 projects, she thinks. What would you like to make, Samantha? Like you've got, you're an avid sock knitter. Do you need a new pair of socks or have you got enough in your drawer for now? Because, I mean, sometimes you just plain don't need more socks. I get that. Do you like shawls? Do you like blankets? Have you ever, do you need a new top? I know you made tops before. I don't know. What do you feel like it? I'm totally fine. I usually have quite a few whips at any given time. I don't quite know how this happened. You could, oh, look, Sally's right. Just make some joggers. Make some joggers with me. Get yourself some DK or heavyweight yarn and knit some house pants. Um, yeah, legit. Anyone can join us on our adventures. I've got to go and put my joggers over on Discord. I haven't put them there yet. And I need to end off some projects and add some projects to the finished projects pile. So, you know, got some. I did clean up my craft room and found some forgotten whips, so added them to Ravelry so I wouldn't lose them again. That's what I did last year, I think it was. But like in saying that, I know there's a crate somewhere that I think has got more whips in it, but off the top of my head, I don't know where it is, and so therefore they don't exist. The jumper is because it's mostly stockinette. The shawl is an Estonian pattern, too difficult to read a pattern when traveling. Fair enough. Fair enough. You could make a nice pair of cash merino socks. There you go. Bianca's going to use the fact that I'm live streaming against me and have her socks soaking while I'm streaming. So she's going to beat me, mind you. Mind you, mine are full knee high. So does it count as a race then? If we didn't make the same pattern, I don't think it does. And then this afternoon, I've got to sit down and do some client work, so I can't even just continue on. So it's not a race at all. That's right. Not a race because we're making different things. I mean, Kelly kicks my butt. Kelly and I started together. We were going to work on the project together, and hers just worked first time. Mine ended up in the naughty corner because I'd gone down a size. But yeah, Kelly's now made like 3 or 4 pairs of socks and about 11 billion other projects in between. I'm just relieved they're done, honestly. Holly says, I forgot about my granny square cardigan that I've slowly worked. Oh, there you go. Is it finished or are you still going? I'll have to see if I can find the cardigan I was looking at. Let me just. I know I shared it in a messenger group. If I do it on the computer, I'll be able to bring it on screen and share it. Hop out of the way. Oh, I didn't even mention I've got bubbly water. I've got tea in my beveragino. And then I've also got coffee in my little Yeti. I've got all my Yetis. I'm fully beveraged up. All right, let me see if I can find this pattern. Because it was a really cute granny square cardigan. Let me just see if I don't even know if I queued it. Let me just see if I queued it. If I queued it, I'll share the screen. Like it would have made sense to queue it. No. Change the order. It would have been one of the most recent things. Okay. Let me look for under patterns, crochet, granny square, cardigan. Come on, granny square cardigan. Let's go with hot right now because lots of people were making it. Should I share my screen while I'm trying to find it? I found it. I found it. All right, let me just see if I can share the screen. 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 Share. There it is. Okay, let's see if we can make the pictures big. Because I just like to see how the sleeves are. How it's like not all granny squares, so I can see how it still actually be warm. And while I'm here, I'm just going to quickly just, save in favorites so I can find it again. Into cardies, save changes. There we go. But yeah, and I love that. And part of it, I think, is because of the grey. I love that it's got grey, and I'm a big fan of grey. I would probably not be going like the yellow. I'd probably like, I don't know what I would be doing actually. I would have to have a look because it looks like the squares are all a little bit different. And I do like that. Like that looks like a knitted on band to me, and knitted sleeves. So it would be another fusion project. So is that something that you guys would like, do you think? I just think it just sits really nicely on her. Let's see if, has anyone made it? 127 projects. Oh, I like it in that dark as well. Oh, someone's added stripes to their sleeves. That's pretty nifty. I like that too. I like that as well. Let's save in favorites. That's it. Just get saved in favorites. Back. All right. What I'm searching for is if someone plus size has made it, because that's always the big thing. Something might look gorgeous, and the second it needs to go into a plus size. Let's see your helpful projects. I really do like the extra stripes on the sleeves. I think that's a really clever idea. I really brightened that one up as well. Oh, they knitted the back as well. They didn't just knit the front. I don't know if I'd. Oh, I like it with the knitted back. So the granny squares are more like a design element than the actual finished thing. Oh, what do you guys think of the knitted back on that? This feels like a Zoom call. We do this on Zoom calls every now and again where I'll just be like, oh my God, look at this. I want to make this. I would still be doing the button band, I think, even though it's got the knitted back on it. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me look here in the chat. That's cute. Oh, hang on. It looks great. That's cute. I have multiple projects on the go, but I had hand surgery last week, so they are all lonely. Oh, Swellen. I hope that your hand surgery went all great so that you just have to be a good person and not force the healing, and then you can go forth from there. I like the knitted back. I really do. I need to see a picture of the back now. Just to like, oh, dude, that's not what I wanted. Go back. Good. Oh, look, see, I do like the granny square back too. I like both. With the air being able to get through it, I would probably more likely wear the granny square back. I don't know. I like to say I'm not over granny squares. My love for them is still full blown. Yeah, choosing the color palette I think is going to be the difficult thing. What kind of yarn is she using? She is using Pure Wash DK. So it's her own in-house yarn. Oh, it's a wool merino. Okay. So, it means if I decide to do this, I can use Australian wool company's yarn, the Australian wool company. Yeah. And because her merino is like divine. Yeah, I would definitely be doing that. And she's got like 75 colors to choose from and a pile of great grays. Man. Stop sharing because I don't want to start a new project. Stop the screen share. Go back to what we were. We were this one. There we go. That would be great for some scrappy grannies. It really would be. I've actually got some Australian wool yarn, Australian wool company wool here, and so I could utilize those bits and pieces into the rest of the project. Becknick, it's good to see you. Have you looked at the availability granny cardigan? I have not. Let me just, sorry, I'm not going to look at another pattern. I'm going to go and look at that pattern. Okay, so patterns. So what's it called? Availability granny cardigan. Availability granny cardigan. No, nothing. Was that a typo? Bob? Looked at the availability granny cardigan. Yeah, I'll wait and see. I'll wait and see if you've got another, if you've got something else to say, because you might have been auto-corrected, because I get auto-corrected all the time. Apparently I say sit a lot. And shot. Oh, it really did auto-correct you, didn't it? All right, let me try that. All right, let me try. So what is A-R-E-A-Y-N-A. R-E-P. No matches. A-R-E-I-N-A. A-R-E-I-N-A. Yeah. I'm going to drop cardigan off and just see if maybe I'm being too specific. Come back. Oh. All right, let me try again. There's another A-R-E-I-N-A. Nope, still not there. Maybe pop a link over in the fun zone and I can have a look later. So yeah, not getting any luck there. That's all right. Okay, just keep going. So I've nearly finished. By nearly finished, I've still got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colors left of the part 4. Then there's part 5, and then a part 6, but part 6 is much smaller. So yeah, definitely creeping. It's a really good length already, I have to say, this particular one. Oh, Sally, hang on a second. Let me just see. Try this link. Oh, with the diagonals. I did see that one. Let me just screen share it because like we're all invested now. Screen share that one. Yeah, I did see it come up. And I like the idea of it, but I think I prefer the other one. Oh, I'm trying to click on the pictures on this screen when I need to click on that screen. Let me just make it big. I think that's very cute as well. It's a little more crop than I'm probably. Let me look. 709 people have made this one. Oh no, you can make it longer. You can make it longer quite easily by the looks of it. Lots of people have made it. I like the look of that one too. Oh, somebody's gone in and made it like a sweater without the cardigan aspect. Oh, damn it. Like, do I really, like, Jer- Jer- added it to the list because I do like that it's got the knitted cuffs and the knitted waistband and the knitted neckband. Although I don't know if I'm any good at picking up knitted stitches off that. Kathy's off. Great to see you, Kathy. Thanks so much for joining. I do like that. I do like that. And I also like that the squares are all the same colors, like it's not a mishmash. But I was going to like do that, but on the other one as well. So, I mean, there's nothing to say I can't have two granny square cardigans, right? Is there anyone out there going, sorry, Chantelle, you can only own one? Which one are you going to make? Because I'm trying to make more of my wardrobe and phase out some of my things that I have. How do I put this? I have things in my wardrobe that I don't actually like, but I wear because I have no options. Being plus size in Australia, um, the options if you don't want floral are very limited. Um, and so, oh yeah, I'm like, am I doing the right thing here? Except I do need to get rid of this. They don't get, for some reason, they don't get the chain in the middle. Do I have scissors? I don't. Don't look at me using my sewing scissors on yarn. At least it's not paper, okay? Alrighty, so we have done that color and now we're on to, so that's the copper, I think. Just double check. Yes, we finished the copper. Oh, I just had the wind blow through the window and it sounded very eerie. And now we're on to spearmint. Spearmint green, which one are you? That one. Where the little tag broke off, so I had to jerry rig it. I had to do some just a hair tie holding it on. It's doing the job, right? I mean, it's a little snug. It's a little snug. It'll be fine. Flip. Alrighty. You only allowed one? Oh my gosh. You might like the Lulu slipover. Not a great. You'll need to send me a link. Total rabbit holes. Absolutely. Rabbit holes ahead. Tarot Destroy, great to see you. I forgot about my granny square carton that I've slowly worked. Yeah, you should totally pull that out. If it's not finished, you need to get it finished so you can wear it. But yeah, I definitely try. I'm trying very hard. Come over here. Come on. Why is that chat has stopped? Let me just adjust the chat. Go back to live chat. There we go. Yeah, so I have this goal and I don't have like a deadline for it. But I want to be making more things that I actually like so that I can wear them. So, you know, my knitted t-shirt that I was wearing last week, that's part of that. And my ranunculus top, that's part of that. And I slowly want to be able to, you know, as garments die, rather than replace them with you know, something meh, replace them with something that I made that I like. So obviously, you know, you don't want to do yard work in your hand knit. So I still want to have like some t-shirts and I'll probably always buy my bottom halves. But I get frustrated that the t-shirts. Although a friend of mine, Game Widows, I'm glad you could pop in, honey. Um, I want to try and sort of normalize our handmaids as part of our wardrobe. And our friend Casey she makes the most beautiful garments for herself, and she's just actually knit herself a dress out of the Sierra yarns, and it looks stunning. It just looks stunning. And so, you know, I don't think I'm not a dress person. I'm not a dress wearer, so I'm probably not going to do that. But I would definitely like to have more tops, and then sort of just be buying commercial bottoms and t-shirts, so that I don't have to, you know, deal with all of that stuff anymore, and make it so that I can have a top that fits here and here. I don't have to choose, you know, like right now I have to choose the sleeves because they're the bigger part of me, and then the tops end up usually being a bit gapey, whereas this one's just oversized everywhere, so I can kind of get away with it. But it does get a little frustrating when things don't fit properly. So, and I've got a feeling that things don't fit most people properly. I would like to know if anyone in the chat can go in and buy clothes from multiple different stores off the rack and never have to make a sort of decision based off, you know, a poor fit, because everything fits you perfectly off the rack. And I honestly don't know if any of us can really say that, because are you tall? Are you short? Do you have you know, bigger arms or bigger legs, or, you know, like there's just so many things. Like, it's just, there's so many different portions of our body. Is the bust area too big or small? You know, is the back width too wide? For me, the back width is too wide as well. So, I'm like, I've got like a size 18 torso, but then the second I need sleeves added onto it, I have to jump up to like a 22. So that's 2 sizes larger in Australia. So it's frustrating that, you know, I've got to make these decisions, and quite often the width across the top of the back, or what is that, the nape, that's off. It's just about always off. And then my arms are short. So then, you know, like 3/4 length sleeves fit my arms perfectly. So, you know, it's frustrating. I have to make adjustments all the time. Mouse's Crochet Corner says there's only one store I shop at, fits my body type, so I shop there. That is awesome. I'm glad you found a store. Bianca says that she's always had trouble getting things to fit properly. Yeah, and like, we are a lucky group, like our group here. Those of you that are watching this live stream, if you are a crafter, I know not only crafters watch this live stream, but if you are a yarn crafter or even a sewer, then you've got this skill behind you that you may not be utilizing, and you could be creating your own wardrobe. So I went through and picked a few patterns of some tops that I would like to wear, I think. And then I went and hit Hobie yarns, was the big one that I hit, for cottons and cotton blends. And so some of them are just pure cotton, some are cotton silk, there's cotton bamboo, there's all sorts of things. But because I'm here in Queensland in the subtropics, if I actually want to be able to wear the top, I need it to be cotton or a natural light fiber. I think I even grabbed a flax. I think there's a flax there. So it is just one of those things where you have to, like, I can't make an acrylic top, which is why I'm a little bit dubious about these pants, because it's a majority acrylic. You know, so I need to think about the yarn composition as well, not just the weight of the yarn and the meterage. I have to think about what it's made out of, so that I can actually wear it in this subtropics that I live in. Snyder Spindles is here. Hello, Scott. It's great to see you. If you buy a thobe or muumuu, it might fit. Yeah, and you know, it's one of those frustrating things, isn't it? Trying to find something that fits. Very frustrating. Game Widows wants to take a pattern off the dress she's wearing. Like, I remember, I crocheted a top. Like, I crocheted myself a new cardigan. This was about 10 years ago. The cardigan got worn to death that I made. And I'd actually bought this really cute little commercial jumper, like cardigan. And I loved it. And I wore it to death. And then what I did was I actually just took a pile of measurements and actually sketched out myself another pattern, and then just put it on pattern drafting paper, and then crocheted fabric to sit those lines, and I made myself a new one. Do you think I can find my pattern anywhere that I made that with? The answer is no. The answer is no. But it was so cute, and I used to wear it all the time. It's probably not my taste anymore. I've aged up a little bit since then. So I probably would not make that exact thing again. But if there's something that you love in your wardrobe, you love the shape of it, you can always get in there and try again with your own yarns and your own, because like really, what am I doing here? I'm fabricating. I'm creating fabric. And what do garments require? Fabric in specific cuts and shapes. Now, most of us here are well enough along in our journey that you can work out how to, like when you're going to need to do a decrease for an armhole or something like that, or how you could jimmy it with drape rather than actually doing the shaping. Like there are so many options. So many options. Oh, thank you, Sally, for sharing the link for the Hobie. That is an affiliate link for me. If you use that link to purchase Hobie yarn, I will get a commission, but no additional cost to you. Nick says, yes, I have these soft, comfy culotte style pants I've worn to death. I've kept them to make a pattern, when I have 5 minutes. Yeah, that's kind of the thing, isn't it? Emma's mum was an awesome pattern maker. I'll have to work it out now. I have a sad. I'm sorry, Emma. But yeah, it's it could be a skill that you could learn if it's not something that you've done before. And you can like just measure across, like think about the bits that are important in a garment, like where the seams are and things like that, and then measure that out. And then you could crochet or knit fabric to fill the rest of it and go from there. And like write notes. Be prepared to frog back. That's the thing. Like if you're gonna create this top for yourself, and I'm not talking about, to sell the design or anything like that. I'm just saying so that if you decide how much you love it, you don't have to reinvent the wheel a second time. You can just work off your own notes to make another one, or make an alternative version with longer or shorter sleeves, or with, a deeper or shallower neckline, or a different shape neckline. Like if you love a top, right? And it's got a crew neck, right? Because crew necks are the devil, okay? I just need to say that. Crew necks are the devil. You could change it so that it's a scoop. Like, I mean, technically this is probably a crew neck, but this is one of the better fitting crew necks. It's got a big, it's not sitting here and it's not choking me. All right. Like, so, you could turn it into a scoop, which is just a little bit more at the front. You could turn it into a V-neck. You can turn it into a boat neck, which is wider at the sides. There's so many options when you make it yourself that you can just be more comfortable, because I get really frustrated that all the tops that I like all the and this is more t-shirts, right? All the t-shirts I like that I want to buy are all stupid crew neck devil shirts, right? That annoys me so much that I hate it, that I refuse to buy them. And every now and again, I'll buy one going, you know what? I'll just unpick the collar and I'll do there's a little sneaky trick to turn them into a little like shallow V-neck. I'll do that. And then I never do it, right? I never do it. I'm just yeah. Game Winner says, that's how I found this channel. You were modifying one of your crew neck shirts. Yeah, I modified a Spider-Man shirt. And then added crochet edging to it to look like red spider web. Definitely, because I loved that shirt, but it was a stupid crew neck from Satan. So I still wear that. It's still around. the arms are slightly snug, but I still wear it. But yeah, it was fun. That was fun to do. And that was I did that like, I mean, it was a pre-record. It wasn't live, but I was working on it. Like, I hadn't made one before. Like, I think I might have done one before. But that one I did more modifications to. So, because I did some stuff up the sides as well, and I added some extra length to the sleeves with crochet. I went to town on it, honestly. I went to town on the Spider-Man shirt. The video is still there if you want to see it. You can see it. But yeah, you can totally modify the pattern and then make it how you want it, which, like, that was one of the things I just loved when I was looking at those patterns before, was just like, oh yeah, I just put in a whole knit back rather than the crocheted back. Or, you know, I've made my front bands different so they don't actually have the buttons, and, you know, just lots of different options because different people like different stuff. And the lady who turned the cardigan into a pullover, it just looked gorgeous. Like, this is the thing, we're making our own stuff. We can put our own spin on it, our own twist on it, and make it so that it's comfortable for us. I crocheted the Southern Pine sweater last year that was fairly easy and looks awesome on. I made it with Cleckheaton Country, but I want to try again with 8-ply Bendigo Woolamille cotton. Just remember two things. Cotton is denser than wool, so it'll be heavier. And the Bendigo 8-ply cotton is not actually 8-ply. So compare, like, when you hold that 8-ply cotton next to your Cleckheaton, the widths of the actual diameter of the yarn will be totally different. So it's not to say that it won't work. It can totally work, but you just need to be aware of the differences because it'll change the drape considerably from wool to cotton. Francis, you here? Time to say hi. That's awesome. It's good to see you. Game Widow says there's a pattern I want to try. It's a crochet granny stitch yoke with a knitting body and sleeves. That sounds really interesting. I really love the concept of mixing. So, like, my crochet fusion blanket is a mixture of like quilting and crochet, and that was a little trickier because sewing's not my strong suit. I mean, I can sort of do it. I can do it enough to get away with stuff. But that's about it. But yeah, so having like hybrid projects, yeah. And like if you're not strong at one or the other, it could be a way to help you get stronger at them. Like I'm just a true believer that if there's a project that you really want to make, like if you love the end product, like you look at something and be like, oh my God, I want to wear that. That looks divine. I want it. Which is kind of how I felt a bit about those knee-high socks, right? I really wanted the knee-high socks. I've never had knee-high socks before because I've got little short, chunky legs and they never fit properly. And so I wanted knee-high socks. And that was my perseverance. That's why I persevered through 3 to 4 different tries of making that silly pattern work. The pattern's fine. I wasn't following the instructions. So, you know, just trying to find something that you just absolutely love the look of, and then it will help you to persevere through any steps that you're not familiar with or having to learn how to do a new skill because it's something you don't know how to do. Yes, please, Emma, share it in the fun zone. We've got a thread there happening. So yeah, definitely want to have a look at like a fusion project as well. I think the Australian Wool Store, I think she's back from her trip. She had Catherine runs a tour, like a guided tour through Japan, like for crafters, and I think she's back. Well, she'll be back soon. I think she's back though. So I'm gonna have to go and look at her site and just dig through which colors I want. Like I know that I want it in at least the DK of the merino because it is just divine to work with. Um, and then go from there. Have I done the right thing here? Yes, I have, because then you do a little single crochet there. Turn. Boop. Where's the yarn? I've lost the yarn. There it is. Okay, and then who else would be interested in a hybrid project? Is this just something that I'm like, oh yeah, cool, this sounds great, I want to do it? Or is it like something that a few of you would be interested in? Because like this is the thing, while we could all be working on our own individual hybrid projects, but we could encourage each other in the fun zone. And if someone's got a skill gap, not in the fun zone, sorry, in the Discord, if someone's got a skill gap, then we could help them through their skill gap. I mean, we'd probably all be working on different projects, but we could all be doing a fusion. Beck says that now I have a bit better knitting skills, I'd be up for a hybrid. Yeah, like that's the thing, isn't it? Like, where are you at? And you don't have to be like advanced at either. Like, like an advanced beginner for both would be all you need. Salad, give it a go. There you go. I reckon it could be a bit of fun. I reckon. Yeah, Jance, I'm that first cardi one. Yeah, that's the one I'm gonna do because I've been eyeing that off. I saw it come through like I think it came through my Instagram feed like a little while back, and I shared it instantly with a group of my friends. I'm just like, oh my god, I want this. And like now that I've seen the knitted back version, like, do I want the? I think I'd still granny square it. I'd do it how they've done it, except I think I would add some of those coloured stripes into the sleeves. But I don't know. I would have to wait and see. I would judge it later. Um, I think that's why I don't weave very much. I'm not a good sewer and terrified of the thought of cutting into my hand woven. Yeah, like I do tend to weave whatever I've woven and that's the final product. But technically speaking, you can totally sew with your hand weaving and cut it out. Like I have this dream, right, of weaving a nice wide swath of fabric and then making a jacket out of it, like a top, like and just sewing it, but sewing my fine wove. I don't want it chunky. I want fine woven. But yeah, I'm just like I'm not there with weaving. I'm still an absolute beginner for weaving. I wouldn't even consider myself intermediate weaving. I'm a beginner weaver, and so um, and I love the idea of weaving. And I've woven a couple of things, but they're all like everything I've woven, no matter how fancy it looked, it was actually very simple. Um, just very, very simple. Quite often the yarn did a lot of the work, like as in color changes and texture stuff. Yeah, it's definitely something I would like to get better at, and I would love to sew my own woven fabrics. But yes, like you, a little nervous on the old cutting up my weaving, definitely. So I'll just keep weaving tea towels. I've got a friend though, and she'll set up her loom to weave 6 tea towels one after another. And then she'll just cut in between them. So, same sort of deal, right? Still cutting the weaving. Um Holly has an aunt that sews with her hand woven fabrics. Wow. Gosh. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, I didn't mean to yawn. But yeah, like we're fabricators. We make fabric. We can make whatever we want with our fabric. You're right, Louis. Louis just did like a full on snorky snore. You're so funny. chat. There we go. We're still good. So yeah, so I reckon a hybrid project would be so fun. I do want to finish off something else off my list, even if it's just my cow, before I start another project. Definitely. And then I would have less guilt about starting a new project. And I'm like, I've got all this yarn for tops. Why do I want to go and order yarn for another sweater? I don't have any sweaters on my list or cardigans. Like I have them on the list, but I don't have the yarn for any of them. I haven't pre-purchased anything. Whereas I've pre-purchased, I think the cotton and yarns for about 8 tops. I just figured if I've got to pay postage, I may as well do it all at once. And it was a good deal. And we did some of our Hobie yarn, like we did our Hobie yarn haul video with one of them, and I've shared the contents of the other bag in another live stream. Like, so they're all just sitting here waiting for me to actually start something. I started the pants because they have a deadline. And like, wouldn't it be nice if the pants actually like are comfortable and wear well? Like, that would be pretty cool, especially because like there are days where I will wear a pretty comfy pair of trackies just hanging out at home, just chilling and relaxing. But I've got, what's the other thing I've got here? So I've got the cow and I'm like, have you noticed? I'm like, what one of the small projects could I finish off? Not one of the big projects, but like I've got these socks that I'm still working on. And they're cotton lycra socks. They're super stretchy. And they're on the cubics, like not cubics, what am I saying? They're on the, I can't remember the name of these DPNs. I found them. I lost them and now I found them. My little cactus end stoppers. I didn't know they were in there. Why is there a second? Anyway, now I know where they are. If I'm looking for these, you guys all know where they are now. They're in with the cupcakes. Cactuses are with the cupcakes. But yeah, I'm like, maybe I could finish off one of these blankets, you know, before I get started on any of that sort of stuff. But no, I'm looking at the cowl and the socks. Actually, I'd really like to get the cowl done because I'm really hoping a good wash will solve the issue I have with it. Otherwise, I don't know what I'm going to do. What is that stretchy sock yarn? It is, I've got a second ball here. It's Cascade Yarns Fixation Splash. And it is a, where is your ingredients? Oh, there it is, sorry. 98.3% cotton and 1.7% spandex. The pattern itself is quite stretchy, but then add in the spandex and the cotton and it becomes super squish. So, and these are I think the pattern is House Socks by Pearl Soho. It's in my Ravelry queue, whatever it is. All the details are there. My craft group has a couple of weavers that make jackets and coats out of their hand-woven fabrics. Yeah, I would love to do that. I would love to do that. I bought that yarn from Mean Mothers. I don't know if they still have it or not, but I'm enjoying working with it, honestly. It's not too hard on the hands. But yeah, I mean, I'm only that far through the first sock. The second sock still needs to happen yet. So that little project's still a ways off. I haven't even done heel turns yet. So maybe I could finish a blanket and then feel better about that. I would actually really like to finish the blanket for my dad and get that posted off to him before he starts getting too cold and complaining about like, hey, how many blankets have you got on your couch? Because I got my little blanket that I carry everywhere that I'd like to leave on my bed, but because I don't have an option, because he got the fireside blanket, which he absolutely loves. My brother Daniel said he takes it with him everywhere. It goes in his car when he travels. It's a knee rug. It's a really small blanket. Um, Whereas this other blanket that I'm making, the Granny Square Ripple, it's a lot bigger. It's a full single, um, or twin. If I'm trying to remember all the lessons I learnt from I know. I'm like, what's Louis barking at? Louis is right here. Louis is barking at nothing. Um, from oh my gosh, the other week. Was it last week or the week before where we were learning all about the different bed sizes? Anyway, it's a full size single. So it'll be great for Dad. Yeah, the jackets I can imagine they would be gorgeous. Absolutely. Hand woven fabrics. But yeah, not I don't need anything super heavy, but I like something well crafted and light and like timeless piece. I like timeless. Um, John, thank you. It was the week before. Thank you. I know this might be hard for some of you to believe, but I'm not a fashionista. So I don't follow the fashions, I don't follow the trends, but I do like beautiful classic garments. And I think that's what I would like to make is more just classic, everyday, non fashion specific projects that in 6 months I can still wear because I wasn't following a trend. Because it's going to take me 6 months to make it. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Have you met me? It's going to take 6 months for me to make anything, especially if I've got to weave it and then sew it. But I reckon I could crank those granny squares up pretty quick. And then it just comes down to sewing them together and then joining on and knitting. And I'm like, it's getting cold here. How nice would that be to wear during winter with just a pair of jeans or, some linen pants? I live in linen pants even in winter. Just put socks on. I wonder how the crochet would wash and wear differently than the knitting, although it's wool. So you can block it back into shape. Oh, that's a big advantage of making sure you use wool for it, isn't it? Look at my brain go. Look at it. It's just like, and what colours shall we put in an order for? I'm going to have to go and look at the pattern, work out how much yarn I'm going to need, and then chat with Catherine. Like, Catherine, I need 11 billion balls of yarn. I'm going to make this. Okay. I cut up one of my hand weave early scarves and turned it into a cushion cover. There you go. That's the way to bite the bullet. Because I'm also like that person that has not yet steeked because the thought of cutting my knitting is terrifying as well. Like I just don't like to cut things I've made. That's what it boils down to. But I will say, Kelly really did inspire me because she made her pockets together because the pockets are after add-ons. Like you knit the shaped pieces and then she actually steeked her pockets. So I'm like, maybe I could do that. That's not such a huge project investment if you screw it up, Because like, let's be honest, that's what I'm afraid of. Like, it's not just the cutting; it's the cutting it and it just unraveling and becoming like a dumpster fire. We finished another color, everybody. Time to do a dance. We are onto the vintage pink. And we've used vintage pink, so it will be somewhere else, possibly. Are you vintage pink? You're very bright. No, that's pink berry. You look a bit more vintage pink to me. vintage pink. Okay. And flip. Hey Russell, good to see you. Yes, it is very nice contrasts of colours in this particular one. I agree with you. There's bright pinks and soft pinks and bright greens and soft greens, but it still works. You know, so you've got to do a dance. I really hope that the colours work because I bought their kit. Just the thought of steeking gives me hives. Yeah, me too. I'm not okay with it. I'm just not okay with it. For those of you who don't know what steeking is, it's a style of it's a process. It's a process where you'll knit something in a tube or in one single piece, then you'll cut through that knitting. So it's really common use in like Norway and countries that do a lot of the Fair Isle knitting. They'll do everything in a big tube and then they'll cut where the sleeve holes are going and they'll cut where the cardigan band is going or something like that. And then they pick up those stitches and then continue on. Terrifying, but it works if you know what you're doing. I, however, do not know what I'm doing. So, you know, I probably won't do it anytime soon. Sal, like, you got to do what you got to do, honey. Thank you so much for being here for so long. Honestly, I'm always so very grateful. Okay. Do there? Nope, that's not what I'm doing. I did the wrong thing. Why didn't you guys tell me I was doing the wrong start? The wrong start. I just need a single crochet start. Chain, single crochet. Okay, get the ends out of the way. All right. Here we go. Okay. We can report a Yeti sighting. Yeah, we can. There's multiple Yetis in the region. There's my chills survival beverage, you know. And you know what's really funny? My daughter still complains about, why did you put chills on it? It's so dumb. Like, you're never stealing it then, are you? Ha ha ha. Which is exactly what I wanted. I didn't want to make it so fun and cute that she stole it. Also, Chills is my name. So, yeah. Have an awesome day, Sal. So, yeah. So, new project going to start soon. New project started the other day. Need to finish off. I think before I start the new top, I would like to finish off one of the blankets. Like, well, I'd be like, oh yeah, I can totally finish off that cowl in about 5 minutes. Then it's tick, gone, add something else. I would feel like I'm cheating. Like, because I know it's only like a half a dozen rows and then I still have 6 or 7 blankets to get finished. So maybe if I can just focus and get the one blanket done. Because they're all at like this point where they're like 3/4 done. So if I can just get one finished and then it will, you know, oh, Sue Ellen's got to head off for a work Zoom. How dare work expect you to actually turn up for a work thing during working hours? Goodness. Thanks for the pattern reviews. Yeah, like anytime. I'm always curious about patterns. But yeah, so, you know, it's just, it's so easy just to cheat yourself, but sometimes you have to keep promises to yourself. And I really wanted to get my work in progress list back under control. I felt so much better at the end of, or at the beginning of last year when I was really in control of my projects list. And then when I was looking towards the end of this year to see how the beginning of this year was going to look and realize I'd let it get out of control in that year. Like, I got a pile of stuff done. Don't get me wrong. I finished a lot of things last year, but I let it sort of, it was project creep. It's, you know, you just sort of start another project because it looks cool. Or there's a crochet along, which is how this one ended up on the list. crochet along that you want to be part of and you don't want to miss out, and it's time sensitive. But I unfortunately got COVID, and it just I I ended up so far behind that I just had to bail on the crochet along portion of it, and just to try and even just get the blanket finished. Like everyone else finished this in January. So yeah, well, maybe not everyone, but those that started and kept up with the crochet along, they finished in January or February. They finished in February. So I got started fine and then got sick. So, and then I couldn't crochet or knit for ages because my brain was like swimming. But I can now, which is good. So, back to guilt-free crafting to try and clean some of this up. If you could magically finish a project that's in your whips right now, which one would you magically finish? Russell says, I went to hang on. I went to a Zoom seminar on all the new Zoom features today. I won a random raffle to have the instructor give me a private go over of my Zoom settings. Cool. Like, don't say no to that. They'll probably try and get you to upgrade something or other, but like that's cool. Gotta love it when you win a prize. My Sophie's Universe that I started when it first came out, and then you had number 2. Ah, yeah. Oh, it showed you how to go live in a Facebook group with Zoom. That's cool. Oh, your son's mosaic? Yeah, that's been going for a fair while, hasn't it? Magical finish a jacket. I just started it, but I want to wear it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You guys are coming up with stuff. If I could magically finish anything, it would be the fusion rug because it's got so many ends. See you later, Emma. Have a good day. Um, yeah, it's got so many ends that I'm just really dreading weaving them all in. It would be that one. But like the more I look at it, the more I'm like, this would end up being a special blanket. It's got to rest somewhere. It's not going to get used as a blanket, which sort of defeats the purpose, but it's so special that I just love it so much. Anyone else want a magical finish to a project? What would they magically finish? Do they have VAs for knitting and crocheting? No, I don't think they do. I mean, you can hire someone to make you stuff for you, but you're not getting them at Philippine VA prices. That's for sure. Um, but yeah, I'm just generally asking because maybe we should work on the projects that we want to magically finish because there's no knitting fairies. They're not coming to do it for us. So maybe we should focus on them and get them done and get them out of the way so they can stop taking up real estate space in our brains. Holly says maybe my knitted mitre square blanket. Yeah, I love the idea of the knitted mitre square blankets. I really do. But because I'm a process person, doing something for that long, that's the exact same thing over and over again, she says, looking at this blanket that's right here, stresses me out a little bit. It really does. Um, yeah, clean up the bits that you don't enjoy. Absolutely, absolutely. Scott has a C2C blanket that's about half done, and I just lost interest. Yeah, I get it. Like get them and this is the thing, and then it sort of sits there taking up space. It's not usable as a blanket, but it's not done, and it's just taking up space. And then therefore your brain's like, oh, I really need to finish that thing. But the rest of you is like, not now, because I'm gonna do something else because that one is annoying me, or I don't like it anymore, or whatever. Sometimes and you're ready for this harsh truth, sometimes you just need to sit down and frog it and reclaim the yarn and get rid of the project. So, you know, just get rid of it. And use the yarn for something else. I've frogged a few projects. I've actually got a little pile of projects that are going to be frogged. They're no longer considered whips in my mind. They're just waiting to be frogged. So when we get back to playing our game, when my brain can handle switching projects a lot more, then we'll get back to that. I've got a couple of projects that are aside waiting for, just in case the dice rolls a frog, because I've got projects that are going to be reclaimed. Oh, you like it like that? When that is true, and that's probably why I quite often do knit crochet blankets like this, because they are just repetitive and they are calming, and you can focus on something else while you're working on them. So yeah, the cobweb lace weights take forever to make up. Yes, they do. They do. Actually, Bianca just made herself the most beautiful lace weight top the other day. Well, I mean, she showed it to me the other day. It took her more than a day to make it. It must have taken like fully a day and a half. So, and but I'm gonna get to the end of this row, and we're gonna end off the stream. But I just want to remind everybody to hit that like button down below. That would be really good. Also, those that are local, we do have Caffeinated Crafters on tonight. So if you are in the vicinity or can be in the vicinity of IKEA Logan, then you can absolutely join us. We just hang out in the food court, look for the rowdy table up the back. That'll be us. The rowdy couple of tables it usually is. And, you know, come and chill, go and get whatever you want for your dinner from the food court, and then come back and join the crowd and just have fun. Yeah, Bianca's laughing. Ha ha ha. We all know that that's how long it took you. We know. There we go. We're nearly at the end of the row. I do like this vintage pink. It's very nice. I think I prefer it over the pinkberry pink. So that's the pinkberry. That's the vintage. I think I definitely prefer the vintage. The pinkberry is very, very, very pink, says the lady in the hot pink top. So, you know, I'm just trying to wear more bright colors. But I'm legit going to make my my granny cardigan. The base color will be either dark blue or grey, because I love grey, and I will wear it if it's grey or dark blue. I won't wear it if it's a bright color. All right, we are there. We are at the end of the row. Let me have a look here. Got to go to bed. Yeah, it's got to be late. I missed the call. Oh my goodness. You know what? I had planned to join that call. I had. And then I just got sucked into like a TV show with my family and just had a shower and went to bed. And then I got a DM from somebody saying, hey, you know, there was a question you could, you know, that your name came up with. And I was just like, oh. And so now I've got to watch the call replay to work out what's going on. Oh, you were scrolling through that app and was like, hey, wait a minute. Yeah, absolutely. I know what app you were scrolling through. I know which app. All right, my friends, I hope you have an amazing week. And those of you that are channel members, keep an eye out. I'll be announcing our next channel member Discord video call in the next couple of days. I just need to confirm some stuff up. It should be next Saturday. And I will see you all later. Have an awesome one. Bye now. Can't get to the end stream button. There it is. Bye.